Nikki Haley is calling out Trump's dementia risk, okay, angering MAGA. What did she say here? She said, in a Tuesday speech from Greensville, South Carolina, Haley announced that she has no intentions of dropping out of the race at present and will also not do so if she loses by a considerable margin in the state's primary. Instead of focusing on how to make America stronger tomorrow, some people want to know if I'm going to cave today. We've all heard the calls for me to drop out, and we all know where they're coming from. The political elite. You have the money from the political elite. What are you talking about? The party bosses, the cheerleaders in the commentators world. Elsewhere in the speech, Haley also argued that Trump should not be considered for president again, given his advanced age of 77, which increases the likelihood of developing dementia. We're talking about the most demanding job in human history. You don't give it to someone who's at risk of dementia. And while she asked, if you don't win the nominee here, would you consider changing parties and running in a different, you know what she says?
What did she say?
She says, at this point, my only focus is on what I'm doing right now. That's what she said. At this point, which means maybe that's on her mind as well. So who knows why these 200,000 numbers are lower, but there's no way you can make the exact comparison of 2019 to 2024.
Good point. There was no competition in 2020, 2019 when Trump was running again. I think that Nikki, we could say a million not good things about Nikki. I will say that she, at the very least, is a good strategist. Her strategy is just try to wait out Trump and to see if he actually literally goes to jail, which would be insane to me. But her calculation is, okay, I'm not dropping out of the race. Everybody else has dropped out. I'm the only woman left. And let's just see what happens with Trump. She's got a war chest. This weekend, in about 2 or 3 days, is the South Carolina primary. She's expected to lose in well over double digits. We'll see what happens to that. But then there's Super Tuesday is March 5th, I want to say. It's coming up in a few weeks where other states vote. We'll see what happens with that. She's just waiting to see what happens with Trump. In the meantime, they're trying to bleed Trump dry. We see that. Yeah. Whether that's legally or whether this is sort of low voter turnout or low donation, I believe that people do have sort of fatigue. What they say in the article, Pat, what's the term that they used? Election fatigue. What's the term they used?
I think
election fatigue.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they're just tired of her.
I think people are. In my opinion, I think this election is going to be way less of a turnout than in 2020. Everyone was so hyper-focused. Everyone was home. Everyone's on lockdowns. Everyone is just donor fatigue. There it was right there.
Donor fatigue.
Yeah, talk about inflation, Bidenomics. Trump has a base of, let's say, 30% of this country that are going to be ride or die with Trump. We all know that. Biden's only hope, if he is the nominee, is that people still hate Trump as much as they did in 2020. And the numbers are showing that's not otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm on a different camp than Tom. At this point, when Henry Kissinger died, a couple months ago?
4 months?
I went down the rabbit hole of what his doctrine was, and he abided by something called realpolitik. And it's not, the answer is, you don't look at things idealistically. You don't think, you don't do it based on your beliefs or your morals or your values or your doctrines or your opinions. You actually take things at face value with pragmatic approach and realistic approach. The realistic approach is that Biden is still the nominee, as insane as that is. Yeah. And I understand why people are like, come on, guy.
Yeah. Right now, yes. Right now, you're 100% correct.
Shocker. What if actually that the sitting president is actually going to be the nominee in 2024? There is a chance.
There's 100% there's a chance, but I agree, Adam. Everything is on the table, so to speak. But because he has to debate, there is absolutely no way. Because mind you, let's not forget, once the election happened, everybody was, like you said, Biden was in the basement. He didn't have to campaign. He didn't have to do anything. What scares me is if it comes down to it, where they're like, okay, now Michelle and Newsom, and it's just this new, fire, this phoenix rising out of the ashes for the Democratic Party. If that's still still doesn't work, and they still realize, like, oh shit, he's gonna win, that's when I think something big is gonna happen. That's when I think they're gonna shut this shit down so nobody can vote and keep Biden in. That's my fear. That's my genuine fear, because look at all the tactics, guys, they've been using. COVID, locked it down, got him out. Insurrection, now they're trying to bleed him dry. And this is how God works. If they can't stop him, because God chose this guy to freaking wake everybody the hell up, if it gets down to the end and they can't stop him, that's when I think something bad's going to happen.
I had you until you had to say God chose him to stop.
Well, God chooses everybody.
God chose
Trump to wake us up, to show everybody the truth.
Tom.
I genuinely do.
This is where
I think
this is where you lose me.
We've gone down this one a little bit, and I think there's a very, you bring up Henry Kissinger and about what the obvious that's out front, and I'll submit this. The establishment is not Republican or Democrat. They want control and their deeper agenda to move forward. Right now, that would be far easier and almost automatic with Joe Biden. Look, we can see what the Uniparty has done on these bills going to Ukraine. We've talked about this, and there's things happen on both sides of the aisle that Americans on the left and the right, rational voters don't want. And so I think what's happening here is you've got establishment billionaires supporting Nookie, and Nookie is running in the center.
You just call her Nookie?
Nookie.
I'm sorry.
Nikki.
Nice.
Sorry, I was reading something by a lobbyist. The point that she's trying to make is to make palatable things, reasonable to middle independent voters that are establishment policies. That is her purpose. That is why she is still here. A month ago, I said, is she still here because she's running for Senate? No. Right now, you look at what she's pushing. She's trying to make these establishment things palatable to the independent center. This is an establishment
But it's not
ploy.
working, though. Nobody likes her. She's not liked.
No, she's not liked at the Republican primary level,
right.
but she's creating lean in the independents in the middle. I saw yesterday that the independent lean on a Nikki versus Biden election was extreme. So it's kind of working. So I think there's bigger things at play here as why she hasn't dropped out. And, I think I take it at face value.
Do you think independents like her more than RFK?
Some.
Do you think they like her more? Not some. Do you think they like her more than RFK?
No. I think head-to-head RFK on an honest election with,
Honest.
multiple. No, I'm saying.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is,
So
a 60-day run, multiple debates. I think
because
RFK
I think even if she chooses to all of a sudden leave the Republican Party and go independent, I don't think she's liked more than RFK. I think RFK is liked. I don't think anybody likes her. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah.
There's something, you meet certain people.
I agree. I'm only saying, why is she still here, and why are these?
Tom, I got you. You meet certain people that they can fake being liked for an hour, and then they can fake being liked for a day, and then you go on a company trip with them for 5 days, and you're like, dude, you cannot fake being liked. You're just flat out annoying.
Yeah.
Right, to be around. That's Nikki Haley. Spend 5 days with her on a trip. She's going to know you by the third day. She'll fake it the first day. Yeah. Dinner, she'll be fantastic. Yeah. Second day, phenomenal. Third day, you'll see signs. Fourth day, hey, babe, Nikki and her husband want to go have dinner. Babe, tell them I'm sick. I got
diarrhea.
I got every freaking thing. Matter of fact, tell them I got COVID, and I'm going to be better by the time we get back, so they just don't want to be around us.
Yeah.
That's the vibe. Now, I may be wrong because I've never had that. It's just the more she talks, the more she gives the vibes of you don't want to be around her, and she's not likable. Yeah. Okay, so who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. And
would you rather be around her or Hillary if you had to pick?
You're not wrong.
If you had to pick,
you're trying to play a game of Mary Bang.
No, Pat. If you had to hang out for one day, I love that you're thinking about it too. Nikki Haley or Hillary Clinton?
I'll give you the answer, and the answer is not going to answer your question. It's going to be Hillary because I want to learn on why she does what she does. There's nothing I want to learn from Nikki. I want to be around Hillary to ask her about the history of the relationship with her and Bill and. Is it really love or is it a business thing? I want to ask her questions, not necessarily because I want to hang out with her.
Yeah.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.